You'd think a boat tied up at the county marina would be safe from HOA nonsense, right? But no, some people just can't resist a little power trip. That's how I found myself staring down Karen, the self-appointed admiral of our homeowners association, as she strutted down the dock early one morning, jangling a set of so-called master keys like she was leading a SWAT raid on enemy waters. My boat, a 30-foot cruiser I'd poured my soul into, suddenly became her next compliance project, with her muttering about community standards and safety inspections like the Coast Guard had outsourced authority to her clipboard and attitude. But the moment her key scraped my companionway lock, she triggered something she never saw coming, not just my alarm system, but a domino effect of uniforms, flashing lights, and federal jurisdiction that wiped the smug right off her face. But let me back up a sec. When my wife and I moved into this lakeside neighborhood, I thought I'd finally found a little peace, just a guy graying at the temples, bad knee acting up, wanting to fish off the back deck and watch the sunset in quiet. I never expected peace would be such an endangered species in an HOA. Folks around here whispered about Karen like she was some kind of suburban warlord. The stories sounded made-up fines for wind chimes that clinked too loudly, threats to ban a neighbor's dog for non-compliant barking, all that. First time I pulled my boat into that slip, proud as anything after years working construction, fixing it up with my own 2 hands fresh paint, polished brass, teak trim that shone like Goldie spotted Karen watching from the end of the dock. She marched right up, looking at my cruiser like I'd dumped a rusted-out pickup into the lake. "This slip is part of the community aesthetic," she announced, lips all pursed. "Boats must comply with HOA-approved color schemes. Yours is frankly too bold." And I'm standing there, thinking, you mean my navy hull with the white stripe? That's too bold? Apparently, only beige and gray passed her royal standards. But I just smiled and told her, good thing the HOA doesn't own the water, huh? That set her off, you know what I mean? Her lips went tight, and after that, I was in her sights. Next came the little notes under my windshield, emails about dock uniformity, glossy pamphlets about aesthetic guidelines. Saul, the marina manager guy with a beard like driftwood and a cap that's seen more salt than most folks see in a lifetime, just shook his head. "She's tried this before," he told me. "Didn't work then, won't work now. But she's stubborn. Watch yourself." Then there was June, our neighbor, self-appointed local journalist, always phone out, catching Karen mid-tantrum and posting the footage to the neighborhood chat. Her motto, "If Karen says it, I record it." Bless her soul. June was a thorn in Karen's side before I even showed up, and honestly, she's probably the reason half the street knew what was coming. Now, Karen didn't like direct confrontations. She preferred to drown you in paperwork and threats, hoping you'd give up just to get some peace. So, I played my own game, register my boat as a federally documented vessel, paperwork official as it gets. That little certificate turned my cruiser into a line in the sand. Suddenly, her HOA bylaws had less power than a grocery store coupon. So, she upped her game, committee meetings on dock beautification, volunteers with clipboards inspecting ropes and fenders, gossip about safety hazards. One guy got harassed for having a cooler that wasn't tan. I started upgrading my security cameras, sensors, and a trick I'd picked up from my Coast Guard auxiliary training, a direct distress signal if anyone messed with my hatch. Let Karen think it was just about anchor ropes and cooler colors, I was ready for the real move. And then it came. Karen posted in the HOA app, warning about non-compliant vessels and reserving the right to inspect boats for safety and standards at any time. You'd think she was running Homeland Security. Neighbors grumbled, but nobody challenged her. She loved that. But I've been dealing with bossy foremen my whole life. Karen was just another clipboard to me, but I had to admit the way she waved those keys gave me chills. One night, my security cam caught her testing keys on my neighbor's hatches, and I realized she was escalating. That boat was my escape, my safe place, and Karen thought she could waltz in. So I waited, sensors armed, camera rolling, paperwork ready. Let her try. It all broke loose on a Saturday. I was chatting with Saul at the bait shop when my phone buzzed security alert. Hatch opened. Unauthorized key attempt. I pulled up the live feed, and there she was, Karen herself, with two of her clipboard cronies, fumbling with keys, muttering about rogue vessels. I bolted for the dock, knees screaming, adrenaline flooding in. The moment she twisted that key, my alarm screamed. The marina echoed with the noise gulls scattered. Neighbors poked their heads out. June already live streaming. Karen froze, caught like a raccoon in a trash can. But my trap wasn't done. The distress signal pinged straight to the Coast Guard and County Lake Patrol. Neighbors crowded around as Karen, red-faced, tried to play it off. "We're conducting a compliance inspection," she announced, chin high, but her voice wobbled. I barked a laugh. "Karen, this isn't your pool deck. You've got no say here." She doubled down, ranting about tripping hazards and non-compliant anchor ropes, while her volunteers shifted, embarrassed. Then we heard the whoop-whoop of patrol boats closing in, Coast Guard uniforms cutting across the water. Karen's face drained of color. The Coast Guard officer, Ruiz, pulled up and asked, "Whose vessel is this?" I raised my hand. "Mine, and she's breaking in." The crowd went silent as Karen stammered about her authority. Ruiz shut her down flat. "Ma'am, you have no authority on a documented vessel. Step away." June's live comments exploded, neighbors chuckled, and Karen looked like she'd just been caught shoplifting on camera. I played back the security footage right there, muttering, fumbling, caught in the act. Ruiz asked if I wanted to file a complaint. I let it hang for a second, soaking in the karma, and just said, "For now, I want it on record the HOA doesn't own this lake, this marina, or my boat." Neighbors clapped. June whispered, "This is going viral." Karen, meanwhile, tried to spin a last-ditch defense. "We were only protecting the community," she said, but the officer shut her down. "The only liability here is yours." And just like that, Karen's reign cracked. As the officers left, Saul leaned against the post, deadpan as ever. "Lady, you've got zero authority here. You never listened. Now look." Neighbors stopped flinching when Karen walked by. Her loyalists tried to defend her, but after the insurance company started reviewing the HOA's coverage premiums about to skyrocket, everyone wanted her gone. A recall petition started. The board split. Meanwhile, I filed a civil demand letter, laying out damages, evidence, and Coast Guard case numbers. The HOA's lawyer wanted to mediate. Karen accused me of weaponizing federal resources. I laughed so hard I nearly fell off my deck chair. It wasn't just about me anymore, turns out. Karen had a history, snooping in garages, photographing backyards, opening gates. The news picked up June's live stream. The HOA president accused of breaking into a boat played on repeat, turned into memes, even remixed into a sea shanty. For the first time, Karen wasn't feared. She was a punchline. Eventually, the board caved. Public apology, damages paid, Karen stripped of her dock committee role, keys gone, clipboards revoked. Saul put up a sign at the marina. "County property unauthorized, HOA inspections prohibited." People took selfies with it, sent me winking emojis. Karen still lurked around, muttering about witch hunts, but her fire was gone. One night, I took the cruiser out, watching the sun turn the lake gold. Karen was on the boardwalk, fumbling with her mail, looking small for once. And I realized her kingdom of fear and paper rules didn't mean a thing against real boundaries, real law. She'd built her empire on silence and intimidation, but the moment someone pushed back, she crumbled. So yeah, sometimes the loudest bullies are just waiting for someone to say, "Not today." Stand your ground, know your rights, and keep your receipts. That's how you protect your peace. If you've got your own HOA horror story, I want to hear it. Drop it in the comments. Let's build a community that stands up together. And if you enjoyed this ride, hit subscribe. Sometimes the best revenge is just holding the line.